during the post-session, we call it gaggle with reporters, was what are we doing about property taxes in this state? Certainly it is something that both chambers have been working very hard on, multiple pieces of legislation out there, but yet a very, very complex problem, especially when there are ways to basically raise money that the voters don't vote on. In just a nutshell, where do things stand on that?
Yeah, one of these topics that don't fit unless it's a giant nut of some kind in any nutshell. But I think, and Senator President McColley talked about this in the gaggle, that this has been a series of missteps, not missteps. In the moment, it seemed like a good idea. A lot of it were passed by the entity or advocated for and passed by legislators by the entities who were receiving the money. So, when you ask the average voter, what's the difference between a levy, a replacement levy, a renewal, and an emergency levy? And the answer is nobody really knows.
And you're paying for all of them.
Well, in different ways, and it's applied differently. So you ask these two fundamental questions, and you're going to get these answers. Are you for your schools, your parks, your firefighters, whoever it is? Yes. Do you want to pay more in taxes? No. But that often meets at the ballot box, and some 50+% of people vote for it. And how that all works out, we find out later that we have the problem that we have now. So, like the fact that this was created with different pieces of legislation over a year, we're going to have to unpeel the onion one layer at a time, and that's what we're doing with some of the bills in the House.
I would say that over the course of the last 3 or 4 decades, rather than trying to fix the system, we've fixed individual issues, and often within the system that has often resulted in making the problem in some cases potentially worse. And so really the system, when it was conceived and when it was put in place, was probably with property taxes, was meant to be largely anti-inflationary. Over the course of time, through various changes to the law, it's become very inflationary and even more difficult to understand. And so it's worthy of a conversation. I know our caucus feels pretty strongly that we need to take a serious look at reforming the system, if for no other reason than making it more accountable and transparent and easier to understand for the voters.